ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी भाष्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining in. So those who missed the last time our discussion, just give a quick recap. And also it is good to continue with the flow. So we have been talking about this particular pastime of Prahlad and Narasimha from the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this whole pastime, for this pastime, the 10 exclusive chapters are dedicated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, seventh canto. And there is a detailed description about Hiranyakashipu. So we were talking last time that why so much of description about Hiranyakashipu than Prahlad or Narasimha like that. So importantly, we need to understand that what is this Hiranyakashipu? And then probably when we go through the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam all through these chapters, then we'll be surprised to see that Hiranyakashipu is not dead. He's still alive in our heart. So that is why there's so much of description, the tendency, the nature, the attitude of Hiranyakashipu has been described here. So just quick recap. In short, I'll explain the whole story that how Hiranyakashipu's brother Hiranyaksha was killed by the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and then he became very inimical towards Vishnu and then said, I had to kill Vishnu. And he was a very powerful demon. And when he was killed, so he had to pacify his family members first. His brother was killed. And then we discussed about that how Hiranyakashipu goes. And he started talking all big philosophy. That he is a noble soul, one should not lament, the body or the soul and like that. So if you see his talks, Hiranyakashipu, a demon is talking as if he's a very great, realized personality. Right. So we discussed about that this knowledge is not only for information, but it is for the transformation. It's easy to just read some books, memorize, learn some stories, some verses, and parrot like you just recite all that. So that is what exactly doing, because we see his actions are completely different than what he's talking. So one time, actually it's a nice pastime of Srila Prabhupada, that one time Prabhupada met the two scholars, the Vedic scholars, they came to meet Srila Prabhupada. And then they were talking. And in the course of that discussion was that who is God? And this great scholar, they read the scriptures thoroughly, so many books and all of that. And then Prabhupada was asking that, okay, so what is your understanding? Who is God? So one person he asked and he said, okay, you tell me who is God. He says, Swamiji, this is very complex subject matter. It cannot be spoken on a casual conversation like this. To understand God, it's a very difficult subject. And then Prabhupada asked another person, says, I also have the same opinion. So despite all the reading, studying the scriptures and their scholastic, temperament, still they are not clear about who is God. And then Prabhupada was sitting, and then some kids were playing in the temple hall. The small kid, Prabhupada called one of the child, he was just 5-year-old boy. And he came close, and then Prabhupada asked this boy, small 5-year-old boy, who is God? And then he was like playing happily. Suddenly, why is asking this question? Right? And Prabhupada's hand was on some sweet he used to keep, some cookies. Let's shoot the prasadam. So this boy saw that Prabhupada's hand is on cookie. If I give the answer, my future is bright. So I should definitely give the answer. And then he asked that, who is God? And this small boy, 5-year-old boy, and he shouts, he says, Krishna. And then Prabhupada turns toward these two scholars, says here, in our Krishna consciousness movement, even the small 5-year-old boy, he knows who is God. and you are saying that it is difficult to know God. So they're kind of, they were bewildered that, what they're talking, like small boy kind of defeated. And then they had to counter. So they say, no, but Swamiji, that this boy doesn't know that how Krishna is God. And then Prabhupada, just to, make the whole conversation light, Prabhupada says, even Krishna also doesn't know that how he's God. He just God. So that is the reality. Krishna also doesn't know that how he's God. The Krishna cannot explain that why I'm God. Because it has been explained that Krishna's qualities are unlimited. And the Ananta Shesh has been trying to describe the Krishna's qualities since time immemorial. But he find himself unable to sufficiently describe, because the moment he describes, the next moment Krishna's quality enhances, increases. That is the nature of God. So how many qualities the God has? Nobody can answer this. Answer is unlimited, innumerable. Nobody can put and count. So anyway, why I'm bringing this is, so Hiranyakashipu is talking all big philosophy, but there's no understanding. So the purpose of knowledge is we should get some clarity. Who is God and what is our relationship with God? What we should be doing and all of that. If that is not happening, then simply just reading some books and mugging up some verses and all of that is of not of much use, right? So Hiranyakashipu spoke that, and then after that he goes and creates the havoc, start disturbing all the brahmanas, where the cow is being taken care, where the scriptures are being read, all those, because that creates a perfect ecosystem to practice spirituality. And demons are generally just against any kind of such a system. So he destroyed, create the disturbance, and then he goes for the austerity. We discussed about that also. So, and his austerity has been described that how severe austerity he performed, he observed. For a common man, it is not possible to even, think of those kind of austerities. But still, Hiranyakashipu is not a great personality just because he is able to perform some austerities. It's not about what you do, but more importantly, why you do. So sometimes some saintly people also, they do austerity. And here is a demon, he is also doing the austerity. Right. But the saintly people, when they do the austerity, they do for the welfare of the entire humanity. And here is a demon, he's performing a lot of austerity, but his intention is lording over. That if I get the power, then everybody will work under me and I'll be able to manipulate. So that is what makes him demon. So we discussed about that. And then another important thing that we discussed about Hiranyakashipu was he pleased Brahmaji after all his austerities and all of that. Brahmaji gave him the benediction. And he was very smart with all permutation combination. And I should not be killed in the day or in the night. And so many other combination. He thought I'm very smart. Couldn't realize that Lord can be always one step ahead of what you can think. So he got all the power. But despite all the power, Hiranyakashipu's experience has been described in those pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Natrapet Ajitendriyaha. That despite all the power, still he was not satisfied in the heart. So there's a very important lesson here, that none of the things, the opulence, the power, or whatever we aspire of this material world, again, we are not against all of those things. But thinking that those things will make me happy and satisfied is an illusion. And here is a person who practically was the control of the whole world. All the 330 million demigods were under his control. All the demons on top of that were under his control. He like practically kind of a supreme powerful person. But his experience has been described as he was miserable. That is the nature of when we try to be happy and satisfied through material means, it will result in dissatisfaction. So sense gratification results in dissatisfaction. We discussed that. Actually, there is a very interesting story about this is a folk story, folk tale in Bangla. So story goes like this, that there was this lady who was a maid servant in house of a rich person, some Sethji, right? And big mansion, big bungalow. And she is a maid servant, poor lady. She'll come and she'll be fascinated by each and every item in the house. She'll look at the chandelier and say, oh, wow, this is so magnificent. Look at this, look at that. She'll look at the bed, so soft bed and all that. And she will have the desire in the heart that I wish that I can also sleep on this bed some time. And like that, all that time she was thinking in the mind. So one time, this person, the owner of the house, was not there in the house. So she thought that today is the day that I can probably just fulfill my dream of, enjoying sleeping on this bed at least for a few minutes, few hours. So then she goes and lies down on that bed, very soft and all of that. And right at that moment, that owner comes in. And then when the owner saw that she is sleeping on my bed, he was furious. He took one stick and started beating left and right, nicely and badly. He's beating this lady. So she was started shouting, screaming, and all that. And after a few minutes, she started laughing loudly. And this person was even more bewildered that why she's laughing like this. So why are you laughing? And then this lady says that I'm thinking that I lied on this bed just for a few minutes and so much suffering. You are sleeping every day. So I'm just thinking how much suffering you might be going through. So anyway, this story actually leaves a very important message that we try to enjoy in this material world through all these material means that will actually result in suffering. There's the nature of this so-called material happiness. And that is what exactly Krishna also confirms in Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adi antuvantu kaunteya na teshu ramate buddha. Krishna says that when you try to enjoy your senses through sense objects, then result will be miseries. Na teshu ramate buddha. Those who are buddhiman, those who are intelligent people, they never try to take pleasure in this kind of materialistic thing. So we understand that how this Hiranyakashipu, though he was very, very powerful, got all the control, but still he is not happy. He was not satisfied. His experience is miserable. And then we'll understand that what was his exact problem. Bhagavatam explained that where is the problem? What is happening despite all power, position, control, everything? What is making him miserable? That we understand. And then we'll see that if those things are there in us also. If that is the case, then know for sure that our experience also not going to be different than Hiranyakashipu's experience. Okay. So this is the nature of this material enjoyment. Okay. And then we discussed about that he got the power and then he started torturing the people. All the demigods were panicking and they were thinking that how to get released from because they're under his captivity. Right. So they go to the Supreme Lord and approach the Supreme Lord. So another important thing that we need to understand, actually Bhagavatam explained this beautiful verse, which says this tendency to gratify the senses. So far, this tendency is there in the living entity. The living entity can never be happy. And also we will be always bound in this material bondage. So this verse says, Bhukta Bhoga Parityaktva Drashta Dosa Cha Nityasha Naishwarasya Shubham Datte Swe Mahimni Stitasya. So this beautiful verse, it is quoted by the Kapil Muni to Devahuti. And he explains that when a living entity discovers this faultiness of this desiring to lord it over material nature, when you understand that this is something very faulty, I always try to enjoy this way, that way, lord over, this is faulty. When you discover that and understand that, and when you give up the tendency, that is when the living entity becomes independent and stands in his own glory. Or real glory as being the soul is that we are free from all this tendency to enjoy the senses. So far, we try to enjoy the materialistic way of life, the senses, sense gratification, and then we'll be bound, we'll be dependent too much, and our experience will be miserable. Right. So this is very important, this thing. So the whole idea is when we are reading all this, we need to understand that, okay, there is a fault in our current understanding, the current concept. What is our current concept by default? I want to enjoy. Everybody is trying to enjoy in this world, right? So somebody should ask the question, what is wrong in enjoying? Is there something wrong? We should not enjoy. Shall we always remain miserable, morose, disheartened, disappointed, depressed? No, there's nothing wrong in enjoyment, but our idea of enjoyment, that is faulty. We think by gratifying our senses, we will be enjoying. It's a misconception. false conception. So the idea of reading all this, what we are hearing, reading this Bhagavatam is to change your conception from trying to lord over or trying to gratify the senses to become the servant of the Supreme Lord. And when we become the servant of the Lord, and when you situate yourself in serving the Lord, that is when we experience the true happiness. So what is the purpose of, somebody can ask the question, why we are discussing all this, why we are reading all 18,000 verses, what we have to try to achieve through all this reading? Simple one thing, that to change your conception from misconception to right conception, that we can enjoy in this world through all this sense gratification. Change your conception from this to, we can enjoy in this world not by sense gratification or my sense gratification, but by Krishna's gratification. If we can understand this one line, then all our reading, hearing, discussing, and all of that is actually has the meaning. That's the whole idea. Last time we discussed that it's not easy. We hear so many times, 100 times. Sense gratification is bad, sense gratification. In so many different ways and means, through different example, different verses, but it doesn't register into our consciousness. Why? Because this conditioning is very deep rooted, not from just one life. For many, many lifetimes, we have been doing this. I want to enjoy this way, that way. Let me try this way. So many ways we have tried, so many lifetimes we have tried. So this conditioning has gone so deep that despite hearing logically, we can agree many times. Oh, yeah, that's true. I understand. But then the tendency doesn't go. Still, we do the same thing. After hearing class, we will find some way to enjoy the senses. It doesn't go. So that is when the process comes into the picture. And the process is Krishna Nam, Krishna Katha, and then Krishna Prasad. So Krishna has to enter through the Nam, through the Katha. Katha means Krishna's pastimes or Krishna's teachings, or Krishna Prasadam. And we were discussing last time that easiest one is Krishna Prasadam, easily enters. And first thing to enter. And everybody like to get it enter more and more. Right. And slowly that will help. And Krishna Nam will also enter and Krishna Katha will also enter. So that is the that is the process. Right. Okay. So Bhagavatam also actually explained that this beautiful verse in the Bhagavatam, which says, Shanvata Shraddhaya Nityam Granatascha Suchestitam Kalena Ati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. So this verse explains the power of hearing. Why we should hear all this, why we should read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, hear daily. So it says, Shanvata Shraddhaya Nityam. When you hear all this about Krishna, Nityam, daily, with Shraddha, then what happens? Kalena Ati Dirghena. Na Ati Dirghena. Dirgha means long, very big. Na Ati Dirghena means in no time. Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. That Krishna will enter into your heart and Krishna will make space into your heart. Just keep hearing this. So that is the power of reading the scriptures, the books like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all of that. And that is where you see that how Srila Prabhupada, he took so much of hard efforts to write and translate, these books so that people like us can take the advantage. Otherwise, how many of us has that, ability to read the Sanskrit verses and understand the meaning and then apply that in day-to-day life? Practically zero ability we all have. So that is why, so in Kali Yuga it is very, very difficult. But Prabhupada has been explained that Prabhupada is that needle. Like, sometimes you have to make the flower garland. So the thread has to pierce through the flowers. But there's no way that how the thread will pierce through the flowers. Right? So you need the needle. So you put the needle on top of the thread, and then you see through the help of the needle, the thread pierces through all the flowers, and it results in a beautiful garland. So in Kali Yuga, this knowledge has to pierce through our heart. Not possible. So Prabhupada is that needle, is holding us the thread and then is taking us through. And this knowledge is working out. The only thing is we have to show some sincerity, some commitment in the daily. Okay, I'll read 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. Little tapasya is needed. Nothing is free in this world. But the price we'll pay is much, much cheaper than what is actual price to get this. To get Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema is Brahmanda Brahmita Kavan Bhagyavan Ji. It's very, very rare commodity in the entire universe. And we are getting it just simply by chanting 1 or 2 hours every day, attentively, reading half an hour, 1 hour, these nice books by Prabhupada. But this much of commitment, we can get such a thing which is rare in the entire universe. So we have to take the advantage of this deal. Okay, so continue our discussion from here on. So what happens after that? All the demigods, they goes to the Lord Vishnu, and then they praise there that Lord, you should do something. It is going beyond our control and intolerable, and the torment that he is incurring. And then Lord says, okay, I'll come soon, but wait for the right time. And then we discuss that. So the demigods were wondering, like, what is the right time he's waiting for? We're already going through so much of, pain and tormentation and all of that. But Lord has his own timeline. So this is a very, very important principle we discussed in detail last time. That sometimes we may become a little restless. And oh, Lord should do something. I'm going through this challenge. But Lord knows better than all of us. And when is the right time? Sometimes He allows us to go through some more kicks to become really, clear about what you want, this or this. When we get enough beatings, and then we decide finally, no, I don't want all this. I want Krishna only. Krishna, I want you only. So when you become completely clear, then Krishna says, okay, now I'm coming. Right. So Lord says that I'll come soon. You go. So that is another actually important principle, that the demons, when they try to offend a devotee, try to destroy the devotees, and it goes beyond the level, then Lord has to appear. Lord appears actually that time. And that is what Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. I'll come and destroy all the demonic forces. So demons can remain happy in this world with their powers, but as soon as they start torturing the pure devotee of the Lord, like Prahlad Maharaj, he's a wonderful, very innocent, devotee, and then Prahlad, this Hiranyakashipu, will start torturing him. Actually, Lord says that is when I'll come. So there's beautiful, actually, qualities of Prahlad Maharaj has been described. Let me see if I can share the presentation. One second. Yeah, so this nice qualities of Prahlad Maharaj is being described here. That Nirvairaya Prashantaya Sasutaya Mahatmane Praharadaya Yadadurye Danishyapi Varorjitam. So he's very nice. He's Nirvairaya. He doesn't have anyone as an enemy. He's Prashantaya, very peaceful. Mahatmane, the great person. And he's torturing. So actually, there's a lot of verses here which we can't go in detail. But those verses actually explains the quality of Prahlad Maharaj. So many qualities of Prahlad Maharaj, that he is qualified as a Brahmana and devoted to the spiritual knowledge, good character, control mind and senses, and then he is kind to the poor, like a father, affectionate to equals, like a brother, respectful to gurus and elders, seeing them as good as the Lord, and good education, wealth, beauty, good birth, free from all the pride and all unwanted things. And like that, unagitated when put into dangers. This is also another very important quality of a devotee that we should all learn. So he's a great devotee, but he is always equipoised in all. Either it is prosperity or adversity. So Prahlad Maharaj has been explained like a sun. So you see, when sun rises, it is reddish in color, right? And when sun sets, and also it is reddish. So either it is rising or it is setting, it maintains the same color. So similarly, the devotee also should develop this quality. Either it is some prosperity or adversity, there should be the same color, which is dependence on the Lord. Generally, what happens when there's so much of prosperity, there is a tendency to forget the Lord. And as soon as there is adversity, there is a problem, and it is, hey, Lord, please come do something. And then as soon as everything is all set, forget the Lord. There was this person, he was going for some important interview, and he reached almost the building, and then he was looking for the parking. It was almost full, no parking. He was getting late. He thought, if I miss this opportunity, big loss. And he was becoming restless and saying, "Oh God, please help me. Something. Where is the parking? No parking." Something and all that. And he's constantly saying, "Oh God, please do something." And he's going around, "Oh God, please do something." And suddenly he saw that one person was coming out. So he thought, I got the one. So no worries, I found it. I found it. So the tendency is people don't understand that how God is helping us. When there is a problem, you say, "Oh God, oh God." And then as soon as you got something, say, "Don't worry, I don't need you." So this is the tendency. But here we understand from Prahlad Maharaj's quality is that he is always maintains the same color, like the sun, always reddish. So like that, there's many great qualities has been explained. Okay. And also, last time we discussed this, this is another important quality of Prahlad Maharaj, which is Krishna Graha Grahitatma. Prahlad Maharaj is Graha Grahitatma. He is impacted by some Graha. And what is that Graha? Sometimes people say, that Shani ka dosh, Shani Drashti, some Saturn, and some influence of different negative planets. So Prahlad Maharaj is also actually influenced by one planet, and this is called Krishna Graha. He can't think anything except Krishna. Always in all situations, in all circumstances, he's always thinking of Krishna, seeing Krishna only. So these are all wonderful qualities which has been actually explained that Prahlad Maharaj was having all these great qualities. Okay. So now question comes, last time we stopped our discussion here, that if he has so many wonderful qualities, such a nice devotee, nice boy, very respectful to all the elderlies, to his parents and teachers, then what was the reason that his own father became so inimical to Prahlad that he was trying to kill him? And that was the curiosity of Yudhishthir Maharaj. He was asking that what made Hiranyakashipu to go to the extent of killing his own son, such a beautiful son, such a wonderful son, right? So then the story continues from there on. So another important lesson that we can learn here is that, okay, lesson is the spiritual inquiries needs answer from the bona fide guru. Many times you have a lot of questions, why this, why that. And if you go randomly to some random person, they'll give you some random answer, which is not authorized, which is not bona fide. So now here Yudhishthir Maharaj is very inquisitive. He wanted to understand. So he's going to, actually speaking, Yudhishthir Maharaj is a very scholarly person. But still there is a protocol that no matter that how scholarly or great devotee you are, but you should always take the guidance from your superiors. So he asked the Narad Muni that what was the reason? And then Narad Muni continued to explain. I think we have to go a little fast now. So here this pastime comes of Prahlad Maharaj education, which is a very sweet and famous pastime for all the parents. They're very excited that our kid should go for education, which university. So Prahlad Maharaj, the most, not Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu, the most powerful person of that time available in the entire creation. He had to make sure that he goes to the best school or university or the best of the teachers. And that time, the best teachers available were the Shanda and Amarka. We may not believe today, but if Hiranyakashipu is employing them to educate his son, then he should rest assured that there cannot be anyone who's better than them. So he sent them to the Gurukul and they're teaching him all the things. And after a few days, one time on vacation, when Prahlad Maharaj comes back, and then father was very happy to see him, and he takes, Hiranyakashipu was very happy, and he takes Prahlad and put him as on lap. He said, "My dear boy, what did you learn?" So generally, the parents sometimes they ask, they don't really expect that he has to give me some good this thing. What is his learning? But in their childish language, they say something A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, and they're happy. Oh, wow, wow, for apple, something like that. So he was just like inquiring like that. And what did you learn? And then Prahlad Maharaj says this. And what he learned was, it's a very powerful words. Prabhupada quotes many times. Says, Tasadu manne asurvarya dehinam Sada samudvigna dhyama sangrahat hitvatmapadam grahamandakupam vanam gato yad harimashrayetha. So he says, Prahlad Maharaj is saying to his father, who's a very, very powerful demon. And he's very, boldly he's telling that the sadhu manya, that manya means what I consider, मैं ऐसा मानता हूँ, asurya varya dehinam. Oh, asura varya means you are the topmost of the asura, or the topmost demon. My consideration is that vanam gato yad harimashrayata should give up all this business, slogging over and go to the forest. He's teaching to Hiranyakashipu. Vanam gato yad, and what you will do after going to forest? Harimashrayata, take the shelter of Lord Hari. And then he says, Sada samudvigna dhyam asat grahat. Why people are miserable in this world? Actually, Prahlad Maharaj teaches, Sada, always. Udvigna. Udvigna means agitation. People are constantly agitated in this world. Reason is here. Because of asat grahat. They accept something which is asat, which is temporary, which is illusory. When you accept that asat, then your life becomes constantly miserable. So if you are accepting this, my suggestion to you is that vanam gato, go to the forest, and harimashrayeda. Because if you continue to do this asat grahat, then this is actually considered as atmapatam. Atmapatam means you are killing your own self. Atma patam. You're killing your own self. Graham andakupam, this materialistic way of life, this worldly life is andakupam. It is like falling into a dark well, andakupam. So better you just give up everything, go to the forest and take the shelter of Lord Hari. Now this is the answer in response to what did you learn in the school. And Hiranyakashipu, he was quite amazed by hearing this answer. And then he started laughing. And then he called all these teachers, Shandana Marga. He says, what this boy is talking nonsense. From where he's learning? So then he warned the teacher. He said, actually, you may not know, but I know very well this Vishnu. He comes in disguise. That is the nature of this Lord Vishnu. And sometimes he can send his devotees also in disguise. So looks like the someone from the enemy's camp has entered into your Gurukul and they are spoiling this innocent child. So you have to maybe just, tighten your security on the Gurukul. And be careful, be watchful that these people, these devotees, sometimes they enter and they try to teach and they come in disguise. Right? So demons are always afraid of devotees. And devotees try to approach them, they try to stop them. Many times our brahmacharis, they try to go to some universities, and then the management ban them. That they should not enter here. Or anyone who sees the saffron color dress, stop them in the door only. Train the guards. I remember long back, it was when I was in Bangalore, many years back. We went to meet one. I don't want to name that person, but he's a very influential politician. So that politician was having one dog in his house. And then, because it was, of course, we went with appointment, so he allowed us. And then he was very proudly was saying that you see my dog, me and one more devotee was there. I went with the devotee. So he was telling that my dog is trained. If you see any saffron color, he'll just pounce on them, he'll attack on them, he'll bite them. So be careful next time. If you come without appointment, never try to come here. I trained my dog like this. So these are all demonic mentalities. And as soon as you see someone like this, devotee kind of person, saffron color, some tilak, some kandi mala, some mala, immediately they are alarmed. How to stop them? All their entire force, all entire efforts, how to stop all these people. So here, this Hiranyakashipu is giving this instruction to these teachers that, just be a little careful. They might be entering and then spoiling the consciousness. So the good things, the demons cannot appreciate. They think they're spoiling. Right? Many times we see that sometimes some brahmacharis join and then parents get a little upset and some other their neighbors, their relatives and all of those people say, oh, no, don't send them to these Hare Krishna temples. They do the brainwash and all kinds of accusation comes, right? Because sometimes people can't appreciate good things. So no, if he goes, he also becomes some sadhu like them. All of the temples are good, but this Hare Krishna temple, careful. Yad gatva nani vartante. Once he goes, he never comes back. And that is their fear. So many people are not able to appreciate all this. This is unfortunate situation of this modern age. So here we see this Hiranyakashipu, he is warning them that be careful, be watchful, right? And then these teachers take him back and they're trying to, explore, trying to understand that from where you learn all this. And they're asking this boy and how you're learning all of that. So, and how you're getting so attracted to this Vishnu and talking all of those things. So Prahlad Maharaj, again, his reply is wonderful. He says, "O Brahmanas, teachers, as iron attracted by a magnetic stone moves automatically towards the magnet, my consciousness, having been changed by his will, is attracted by Lord Vishnu, who carries a disc in his hand. Thus, I have no independence." So somebody says, "Oh, why you are attracted to the Lord?" Because that is the natural constitutional position of a living entity, to be naturally attracted towards the Lord. Now, question is, if that is natural, then why most of us not attracted? We should be all attracted towards the Lord. Why we are not attracted? So the example is given: the iron is attracted to the magnet naturally, but when the iron is rusted, then it cannot attract. Similarly, the soul naturally is attracted toward the Supreme Lord Krishna, but when we are rusted, the rust of lust, when there's a lust, the desire, a tendency to enjoy independent from the Lord. Atmindriya priti bole, tara bole kam. Krishna indriya priti, dhare prem naam. What is lust? Atma indriya priti. When we have so much of intense desire to enjoy our senses, that is explained as lust. So when somebody had this kind of tendency, lusty desires, then though our natural position is to be attracted by the Lord, but we are not attracted. So this rust of lust, which is stopping us, right? So that was going on, and they were trying to correct him, try to educate him, and all that. Another vacation came, and this time again he goes, and he was very, very affectionate toward the Prahlad, and he was feeling out of affection. The tears were rolling from the eyes of Hiranyakashipu out of affection, and he took Prahlad again on the lap. He was kissing Prahlad's head and all that. And he says, "My dear boy, what did you learn?" Same question, repeated. But maybe this time he is educated enough. And this time even reply was next level. And this is the famous verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that we many, many times keep hearing, and which is famous as the Navda Bhakti. So this is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj in response to the question of Hiranyakashipu, what did you learn? So Prahlad Maharaj says, Shamanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dashyam Sakyam Atma Nevedanam Iti Pumsar Pita Vishnu Bhakti Chen Navalakshana Kriyate Bhagavati Adha Tanmanye Aditam Uttamam. So he says this 9 item: Shravanam, Kirtanam. Shravan means hearing, Kirtan means glorifying the Lord, and Smaranam, always remembering. Who? Not the people of this world. Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. Always chanting, talking, remembering the Lord, and then Padasevanam, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, then Archanam, Vandanam, Dashyam, Sakyam, Atmanevedanam means complete surrender to that Supreme Lord. That is what is my learning is. Tanmadhya Aditam Uttamam. This is Uttam. This is the best thing that I have learned. And this time he couldn't control. Hiranyakashipu. Think of Hiranyakashipu. He is the enemy of the Vishnu, and here is the son sitting on his lap. And he's telling, always remember that Vishnu, worship him, surrender to him, and all of that. So he was furious, and he couldn't control his anger this time. And he threw Prahlad out of his lap. And then he was furious. He immediately called these teachers also. And then the teachers, when they came, he started shouting at the teachers. He says, "What is this nonsense you're teaching to this boy?" And then the teachers were also kind of felt offended. And, they also kind of for a moment forget the power of Hiranyakashipu. And they kind of, responded or reacted to this thing. He says, "Don't accuse us. We are teaching him what we are supposed to teach him. We are also don't know that. We don't know that from where he's learning all this, and we are trying to do all of that." And then, so when teacher was asking actually how you're learning all of those things, tell us the truth, who's coming, who is teaching. Then Prahlad Maharaj is saying another one important point. Here he says, Matirna Krishna Parato Satova Mito Vipadyet Graha Vratanam Adant Govir Vishadanta Mishram Puna Punasharvit Charvanana. So these verses, what I'm quoting here, all selected verses, they are very, very important verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada many times quotes in his discourses, these verses. So it says, Matirna Krishna Paratho Sathova. Says one cannot have this Krishna Mati, Matirna Krishna. So Prahlad Maharaj is naturally having this Krishna consciousness, saying it is very difficult. One cannot have it. Paratho Sathova, by your own endeavor or by somebody trying to help you, you cannot have all that. Krishna Mati, Krishna consciousness. For a person who has accepted Graha Vratana, Graha Vratana means that materialistic way of life. One who has adopted this materialistic way of life. Actually, Prabhupada, very strong word he used, says materialistic life make progress toward hellish condition. So this is one who accept the hellish condition of life. That person can never understand about Krishna. Either by his own endeavor that I'm reading the books, I'm doing this. No, one cannot. If you don't give up this graha vratana, hellish condition of life. So during initial days of this Hare Krishna, a lot of young boys, even in the Western countries, they were joining. So there was a constant accusation on Hare Krishna, especially on Prabhupada, that the Hare Krishnas, they are, they have something, they do the brainwash. Even today also you'll see some people will talk. Just be careful of these people, they're into brainwash. So one time, some devotees, some disciples of Prabhupada, they're talking to Prabhupada, and they're saying that Prabhupada actually, people accuse us for washing the brain. We are brainwashing the people. And then Prabhupada says, what brainwash? To wash the brain, first they had to have the brain. In this modern age, people are so degraded, they doesn't even have the brain. And then Prabhupada explains that they don't even understand the basics, that we are not the body, we are the soul. Where is their brain? There's no brain. So we are not into brainwash, we are into giving brain. So next time when somebody tell you, you should respond that we are giving brain, we are not washing brain. And sometime one person actually, some disciples of Prabhupada actually donated a very nice car, very expensive car to Prabhupada. Prabhupada was going in the car, using that car. People always, very skeptical. They find every opportunity to criticize and something like that. Somebody, Swamiji, you are a sadhu and you are just, using such an expensive car. Why do you need such an expensive car? And then Prabhupada's reply is like, these replies are always, wonderstruck. Prabhupada says, you see, this modern age, people are going to hell the speed of the jet. So just to catch up with them, I had to go with at least with the speed of the car. So I need the car. My disciple donated. So you see that how this modern society has become hellish. They're going towards hellish condition. All kinds of hellish, like all kinds of sinful things, which takes them towards the hell. And in this connection, I remember something that just clicked to me. That one time Prabhupada was explaining that these people, especially in this modern generation, there's so much they're working hard. And Prabhupada was saying, our process is very, very simple. We ask people to come to a temple, sit and peacefully chant Hare Krishna mantra, have nice kirtan, nice beautiful darshan. After that, we'll give you nice prasadam, read our books. Such a simple process. And that process, such a simple process is go back to Krishna. Once for all, you just, get rid of this repeated cycle of birth and death. Such a simple process. And then people are working hard to go to hell. So Prabhupada is saying going to Krishna is easy, but going to hell is very, very difficult. You have to work hard every day. But the simple things people are not understanding. They want to work hard. They're doing all kinds of ugra karma, right, for going to hell. So far somebody is in that kind of a consciousness, that kind of lifestyle somebody has, this graha vratana, then that person cannot understand Krishna. So when these teachers are asking that from where you are learning, they say you can't understand that how I'm learning this. right? And then it goes on, and he says that you people are so foolish, ignorant, ambitious, and then you are misled and entangled. Nate vidu swarthagatam hi Vishnu, durashaya ye bahirarthamanina. Says Nate vidu swarthagatam hi Vishnu. People don't understand what is their real swarth. What is their swarth? Swarth means your real interest. People create a lot of, now I'm interested in this and that, so many things. Our real swarth is Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, Krishna. But people don't understand. So they're ignorant. And then Durashaya ye bahirartha manina. And they're very, very ambitious, and they have Durasha, hope against the hope. Because they're too passionate, too ambitious. So they're ambitious, they're ignorant, and then Andayathan, they're opiniyamanas. And they're misled by all this. The blind man, leading the people. The blind leads the blind. So-called in the modern age, unfortunately, so-called spiritual gurus, bogus gurus, on the name of spirituality, they're teaching some exercises, do this yoga, that yoga, some exercise, something, something. And this is what is spirituality. They're misleading the common mass. So these are the symptoms. People are ignorant, they're ambitious, they're misled, and they're also entangled. So that is the situation. Then where is the scope that people will understand about Krishna? But then what is the hope for us? But there is a hope. If somebody is still, despite all of this is what is our reality in modern age. Kali Yuga, all of us fall in this category. Then what is the hope that we will be able to understand Krishna, connect to Krishna, develop some attachment, some attraction? So there is a solution. So why we are not attracted, we discussed already, because of the lust. Now how to remove that lust? The rust of lust has to be removed by the dust. So this beautiful verse comes, and that says, Naisha matistavat urukramangrim sparshati anarthapogma yadartha mahiyasam padarajo abhishekam niskinchana navranita yavat. Very powerful verse. This gives the solution. Says, Mahat, it says, Mahiyasham padarajo abhishekam. Padarajo abhishekam means, Raj means the dust of the lotus feet of the great devotees. When somebody smears the dust, then all your lust will just go away. But it means that smearing the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee. Yes, definitely, if we get the opportunity to go and touch the feet of a pure devotee, the great saintly people, take the dust. That is how there is a tradition that we touch on our feet, that touch the feet and put on our head. And but it is not just a physical activity of just putting some dust. If that is possible, we should definitely do that. But it is more important that we should take the instruction from them, and then we should smear ourselves in those instructions, and that will open the doors wide open towards Krishna. So all our coverings of lust, everything will be wiped out. So all this conversation is going on here between Prahlad Maharaj and his teachers, and Hiranyakashipu is already furious, and his teachers are inquiring. He's telling all these verses, and they're getting more and more bewildered that what he's talking. We never taught him anything, and they become even more confused. They take him back to the Gurukul now. We have to do something about that. And after taking him back, actually, they try to do a lot of things. They try to educate him. But now Prahlad Maharaj was going next level. What he was doing is not himself was practicing, but he started preaching to his friends now in the school. He started influencing, he became the influencer now. So he's telling other boys also, and give up all this nonsense. Come on along. I'll teach you how to chant Hare Krishna, how to do Kirtan, read Bhagavatam, something like that. And then word spread that, he's becoming an influencer. So we have to do something about that. It's a bad influence. For the demons, it's a bad influence. Right? They couldn't tolerate, they couldn't accept that. But demons always want all kinds of demonic things to spread. So any good association comes, immediately they try to stop, they try to attack. So when that was happening, so Prahlad Maharaj goes and he started teaching, preaching to his friends. Says, Kaumaram Achrit Pragno, Dharman Bhagavataniya, Durlabam Manusham Janma. He says, this Manusha Jivan is very durlab. very rare. You should not waste. Right from the age of 5 year old, when the child is, should start practicing all devotional service. So this is the answer to all the people. Those who say, no, this is too early. We'll do aram se later when you get retired, everything is settled, kids are settled, they get married, you're also settled nicely. Then what we'll do, we'll just change direction only. So this is the answer for those kind of misconception that Prahlad Maharaj is teaching. Kaumaram Acharit Pragni. From the Kaumar Avastha, when you're 5 year old, you should start learning this knowledge and start practicing this. Because Durlabham Manusham Janma. This Manusha Jivan is very, very rare. And there's no stamp that how long we'll continue here. So don't waste time. So like that, he started preaching, and that actually infuriated the Hiranyakashipu and all these people, and then they reported it to Hiranyakashipu back that this is what is happening, things are going beyond control. Well, you only had to do something. So then Hiranyakashipu was furious at this point, and then he ordered that, he should kill him. So the question was why Hiranyakashipu attempted to kill his own son. So that is how he decided to kill him and all these demons. This is okay, great. It's a wonderful thing to do. The demons, they take a lot of pleasure in this kind of activities, and they started attacking him. And so many ways, there's so many descriptions are there that how they try to kill Prahlad Maharaj in so many ways. But he was unaffected, untouched by all of those kind of torture. That is what is when somebody is completely absorbed in Krishna, and there is a kavach, there is a protective layer. One should have that faith. Right. So nothing could, touch him. They tried to crush him under the feet of the elephants, and then they put him in the pit of the snakes, and they took him on the top of the hill, from the top of the cliff. They're trying to throw him. Every time he was saved, and these people are becoming more and more bewildered, confused, and they're becoming more and more infuriated. And what is happening? Who is protecting this boy? From where he's getting all this power in order to go against? And Hiranyakashipu couldn't control all of that. And then, okay, we are just jumping through. So in the third session, actually, I'll be covering some of the instruction and some of the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj in detail. Let us go through the flow of the story today. Okay, so they're asking now, Hiranyakashipu is asking, and these teachers are asking that from where you're getting all this strength, so much confidence. You seems to be unaffected by all this torture and everything. From where you're getting this confidence? Now Prahlad Maharaj is saying this answer. He's saying, actually, the source of my strength is the same source of your strength. The only thing is, I know that I'm able to see that, but you're not able to see. You're blinded by your power. But source of all the strength is one Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna or Vishnu. And that made Hiranyakashipu furious, next level. And how you can say that I am powerful because of my enemy Vishnu? So like that he's asking. And then this is what is the verse which explains what is Hiranyakashipu's problem. Very, very powerful verse. So he says that he's saying to Prahlad now, "O most unfortunate Prahlad, you have always described a supreme being other than me, a supreme being who is above everything, who is the controller of everyone, and who is all pervading. But where is he? He is everywhere, then why is not present before me in this pillar?" So what is happening is with the Hiranyakashipu, his problem is because Prahlad is saying there's someone who is superior than me. My power is coming from him. He is glorifying him. He says, the whole world is glorifying me except you. So this is the problem of Hiranyakashipu. And this problem is false ego. The nature of false ego is that there is a tendency control. And when 99.9% people are under your control, but just 1.1% you are not able to control, immediately that ego comes. That why not you? You are not happy with what you have. You have 99.9% things right. Just 0.1% is not going as per your desire, as per your will. Differences of opinion, clashes, right? When we are in a community, in a team, everything is going well, everything is wonderfully working. One time, something who differs in the opinion, and then immediately you see one Hiranyakashipu within you, or ego comes. How you can differ? I'm such an important person. I'm the team leader. I've done this. I've done that, and immediately that ego arises. So that is the nature of ego. As soon as something, so we have the unlimited desire to control, to consume, and we want that we should be able to control everything and everyone. We should be able to enjoy everything and everyone. But the reality of life is this. Though we have the unlimited desires to control, but then limited abilities and capabilities to control. That is the reality. So Hiranyakashipu, he is thinking I'm the most powerful. I can control everyone and practically control everyone, except just one boy, his own son. He says how it can be possible. Should be able to control this person also. So that is the nature of false ego. And that is what exactly the Hiranyakashipu is. People, something happened, just somebody said against, our opinion, some little clashes, differences in opinion. Immediately this demon will appear in the heart, right? And very difficult. And your mind become agitated, furious. So we should be very, very watchful that we should not fall in the trap of all of those things. In the Hiranyakashipu, which is basically explained here as uh, the false ego. His problem is this, he's telling Mad Anya Jagadishwara. And who is Mad Anya except me? Who is the Jagadishwar? Who is the Supreme Lord? Who is the controller other than me? Why are you talking about someone, Vishnu or someone? Where is that Vishnu? Where is that person? I am the Supreme Controller. So the Hiranyakashipu's ego is coming and is becoming, he is not able to tolerate anymore now. And then he's ready to kill. And then Prahlad was actually tied on the pillar. And he says, where is your God? Where is your Vishnu? He's here in this pillar. And now Prahlad Maharaj, his vision is different. He says, yes, my Lord is there everywhere. He's there in this pillar also. He's there everywhere. So that is the difference between the vision of a devotee and a demon. Demons can't see anywhere, and devotee can't not see anywhere. Right? One devotee boy, the teacher was asking, do you see God? Where and all you see God? He said, no, you asked me the wrong question. You asked me where I cannot see God. So this is what the Brahma Samhita explains. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastha. Lord is situated in each and every small particle, an atom. And that is the vision of a devotee. He sees that. And the whole idea of all these exercises that we develop that kind of vision. We can see. So one time Prabhupada was giving the lecture in the temple hall. So like you see that Prabhupada sit right in front of the deities. He's giving the lecture, people are sitting. And then he can see the Lord right there in the beginning days. And this person, one person, he got up. He says, have you seen God? Prabhupada says, yeah, I'm seeing God, but you sit down, you're coming on the way. You're coming in between. So devotees' vision is they always see God. So God is there everywhere. Only thing is, do you have those eyes to see God? Do you have that faith? We can come in front of the deities here, Krishna Balram, you fold your hands, chant some prayers. But if that faith is not there, people see some murti, Patharga murti, some stone statue. And that is what we had to develop that vision, that eyes of knowledge. Shastra Chakshu. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. The eyes of bhakti, the eyes of devotion. And then we can see the Lord in the temple. Lord is everywhere. So when this Hiranyakashipu is asking Prahlad Maharaj, where is your Vishnu? He says, where he is not. He's everywhere. Says, is he there in the pillar? He says, yes, he's there. So then he couldn't tolerate, he became furious, uncontrolled anger. And then he was very powerful, and in the anger, uncontrolled anger, he took his fist and hit the pillar with a fist, showing his power, blooding out anger, expressing his anger by, punching on the pillar. And he was so powerful that that pillar broke into pieces. Sorry. So as soon as he hit the pillar, there was a tumultuous cracking sound, which was like roaring the entire universe. Such a strong sound, and everybody in the whole assembly was stunned and taken aback at what kind of sound it is coming. And when that sound came, that is when this Narasimha Bhagwan, he appears. So this is the appearance of Lord Narasimha. And this verse explains, Satyam Vidatum Nijabhratya Bhashitam Vyaptim Cha Bhuteshu Akileshu Chatmana Adrashchatam Atyadbhut Rupam Udvahan Stambhe Sabhayam Namragam Namanusham. So this is the verse which explains Satyam Vidatum Nijabhratya Bhashitam. Why Lord appears from the pillar in the form of Narasimha. Nijabhratya Bhashitam. Bhratya means the devotee, the sevak. So Lord appears from the pillar to prove Nijabhratya Bhashitam, the statement of his own devotees, to prove them right. Satyam Vidatum. That a devotee said, yes, Lord is there in this pillar. So his word should not go wrong. So Lord came out from the pillar only. So Lord can come out from anywhere. He is unlimited. So why he came? Satyam Vedatum Nijabhratya. So the Nijabhratya actually refers to many different personalities here. One is Prahlad Maharaj, because he said Lord is there in the pillar. So his word should not go wrong. So Lord has to come out from the pillar. Also, actually, Jaya and Vijaya, actually, to prove their words also, right? Because there was some discussion happened. And another third person was Brahmaji. Because Brahmaji gave the benediction to Hiranyakashipu that I should not be killed by a man or animal. Not in the daytime or in the night time, not inside the house or outside the house, or in the sky or on the land. So now Lord, to prove his words correct, is coming in a form which is not a form of a man or an animal. This is the mix of Narasimha. Nar is the human and Simha is the lion. Half man, half lion form, which is Adrashyatam. Nobody has ever seen that form. Well, that such form doesn't exist before that. Adrashyatam Ati Adbhut Rupam. This roop, this form is Ati Adbhut Rupam, which is Adrashyatam. No one has ever seen that form. And Lord has taken that form, Satyam Vedadam Nijabhritya Bhashidam, to prove the words of his devotee is correct. Lord has come in this form, and how he came? Stambhe, came from the stamb, from the pillar. Sabhayam, in the assembly. Namragam, Namanusham. He is not an animal, he is not even a human being. So Lord came, and this is when the Lord Narasimha comes in this particular form. And this is the appearance of Lord Narasimha Dev, which will be celebrating soon, starting this weekend. The main festival, Narasimha Jayanti, is on 21st, but it's a 4 days long festival we are celebrating, starting with Chandan Yatra from 18th of this month, 18th May. We'll be decorating the Lord in a beautiful Chandan paste that will apply. The Lord Narasimha is very ukra, very furious, angry, is coming all with a. We'll talk about that Narasimha's form also, what form it is. So you have to cool down. So put some, apply some Chandan. So this is Chandan Seva to the Lord that we do. So we'll be applying this, and this is called the Chandan Yatra. So 3-4 days we'll be applying in different decorations. We'll be also performing the Narasimha Homa. And on the main day of the festival in the evening, we're doing a grand Abhishekam and also the beautiful Narasimha Homa. So you're all cordially invited along with your family, friends, relatives, community. On behalf of the temple, you can invite more and more people to come and attend and receive the blessings of Lord Narasimha, his protection. So we'll continue this discussion because we have one more session left. So I don't want to end here only. There's more description and detail. We'll talk about this Narasimha, and then there is a conversation. What happened when Narasimha comes? And then there is a conversation between Narasimha and Prahlad Maharaj. What is the conversation? And some of the prayers by Prahlad Maharaj. Beautiful, powerful prayers. Lot of learnings. So that will be our third session. So please stay tuned. Come and bring more people, more friends to learn and take the advantage of all this description. Okay, so for today we'll stop here. Let me see unless anybody has any quick question or any comment. I see one question is here. Okay, as a devotee, if I don't see Krishna, then am I doing anything wrong? When can we see and feel Krishna? Yes. So in this current stage, we may not be able to see Krishna, but the whole process of Krishna consciousness is to develop those eyes and vision of Krishna and very mature understanding of what it means to see Krishna. Sometimes people think that seeing Krishna means, oh, Krishna should come stand in front of me, holding some flute, playing the flute for me. Very nice, very sweet. I like it. Not like that. Krishna is there. Even actually today also, every moment Krishna is very actively, active in our life. The only thing is we have to develop the vision that perception has to be changed, and that is what we learn. So sometimes we think, oh, when Krishna is there, everything should be nice, everything should be wonderful, I should be happy, right? And all of those kind of imaginations. But somebody who developed the art of seeing Krishna, then he sees Krishna even in the challenging situations, even in the difficulties, in the problems. He says, okay, this is all Krishna's arrangement. Krishna is allowing me to go through the challenges. Maybe he wants to teach me something. Let me learn something. Maybe I need to become more dependent on Krishna. And I had to more intensely pray to Krishna for his protection, to surrender myself. And you see that how Krishna is acting, taking you through some challenges, and that is Krishna. So we think, oh no, Krishna means all good. Some challenges mean no Krishna. My life is full of problems. Krishna is not there, Prabhuji. Chanting for 6 months, 1 year, still problems are continuing. Where is Krishna? Should understand Krishna can be right there to guide us and teach us something. So that is why in the beginning stage, it is recommended that when we don't have the eyes to see Krishna by our own self, then we should try to see Krishna through the eyes of scriptures, under the guidance of a bona fide teachers and in the association of devotees, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. That is the solution. And that will help us in the due course to develop that vision to see Krishna. So that is a short answer. Any quick question or any comment? Anyone? Yes. Who would you call a spiritual person is a good question. So Krishna gives the definition. Krishna says, Mahatmanastu mam partha devi prakriti mahashrita. Bhajati ananya manaso. Who is a devotee? He says, who is a Mahatma? One who is bhajati ananya manaso, who is constantly engaged in the seva of the Lord, is a actual devotee, is a sadhu. So sadhu is not recognized by external appearance. Somebody is wearing a very dark color saffron, so he's more sadhu. This is light saffron, is little less sadhu. Not like that. Long hair, more sadhu. No hair, I don't know it's sadhu or not. This external things doesn't determine someone. It is all about consciousness. Yes. It is not a. Okay. They're showing off all the why they're showing off. Yeah. So there will always be people. Okay. So you should ask them. They have some better suggestion than what we should do then. Number one. And number two is that there will always be people to criticize, condemn because they can't do. So they're not happy seeing you doing that because they know that in the heart, if you do that, you're doing something good to yourself. They don't want you to do something good. They'll invite you for some daru party, some nonsense. They say this is what you should do, which will take you to the hell. When you do Hare Krishna, then you'll go to Krishna. So we don't want you to go to Krishna. Try to. This is called crabbing mentality. You know that crab example? That crab is what? Crab. I think everybody understand, right? So when they say that some people, when they collect a lot of crab, they put in the bucket. They never cover the bucket because they're very confident that not even a single crab will go out of the bucket. Because this is crabbing mentality. That one tried to go out, the another one pulled out. The other, so that is what it is, a crabbing mentality in this one. So when you try to go towards little spiritual things, chant mantras, you read Bhagavad Gita, come to Hare Krishna, people will think, oh, what is this? Why they're going too much there? Not good. Too much association. They'll become devotee. We lose one more person to accompany us in the hell. So they'll try to pull. So don't worry about such people. Either you ask them, you have any better suggestion, please suggest. Otherwise, just leave us alone. So we should not go by what people say. We should go by what scripture says. So it's not down. It's not show off that a whole day you are just holding some mala and going around and chanting. This is the recommended process in the scriptures. And if those people want some references, and for your understanding, you want the references just to get confidence that what I'm doing is the right process, we are more than happy to give you how many references you want from the scriptures. Yeah.
Taking care of your body, right? Is it good or bad?
We had to nicely take care of our body, but for what is the question? Why to take care of the body? Body is a machine, is a yantra. Krishna is saying, I have given you a car. So car is given, car has to be maintained well. But for what? The machine should be maintained well to go to the destination, right destination. Where is your destination? People are going for all kinds of sense gratification. By maintaining good health, we go to gym, we do yoga, pranayam, this thing, that thing, something, and then we'll do sense gratification. That will take us to hell. That is not the destination. So maintain yourself nicely so that we can practice spiritual things nicely. So body is a very, very important, plays a very significant role. If you are not well, you are sick or something, won't be able to even focus on your chanting, reading and all that. So it's a very, very important thing. But we should be clear, I want to maintain my good health, good body, good looks, good beauty, everything. Yes, so it is important. So Krishna guides in Bhagavad Gita that we have to maintain our good health and everything good. Even your job, your money, your position, everything has its own role play. When we talk about no, we should not do all sense gratification. There is a refined understanding. We should not, blindly reject. Oh no, this is all Maya and Krishna is only that. I'll just give up my job. I'll give up my family. I don't care of myself, and I don't even, maintain myself. No, that is not the mature understanding. To maintain yourself well, to maintain socially, physically, mentally, emotionally, so that you can maintain yourself spiritually. If one of those things are not working well, your physical health, your mental health, or your socially, very not confident, then it will impact your spiritual. So we do have ultimately goal of our spiritual health. Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. Anyone is trying to ask any question online? Okay, so we can take up more questions later. Now let us practice something which is practical devotional service by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. And we recommend highly that those who are not started chanting daily, please do chant daily this mantra at least 10-15 minutes minimum. And you can chant more also. And also read some books from Prabhupada. If you don't have the book, please grab one. We'll be more than happy to gift you any book.